Hey everyone, it's Karen with Yes Please PaperCrafts, and today I'm going to be creating a scrapbook layout with some pictures of my little dog Bella. And she was getting inside the window in my craft room because there was a lizard outside that kept running across the window, and she was just going crazy, barking and jumping up and down and running from window to window because I have 3 windows that are in my craft room. And so I snapped these pictures of her, and she actually at one point got inside the window and was on the windowsill because the windows are kind of close to the floor. But it was so funny. I think my friend Tina was over that day and we were scrapbooking, and Bella was just, she was hunting lizards. So this layout, I'm going to be using those pictures. So I'm going to start off by letting y'all know that I do know that the word lizard is misspelled in my layout, and I'm going to have to go back and fix that. But yeah, I just thought the word lizard had 2 Z's and it doesn't. So I already know, so y'all don't have to leave me a comment. So I'm starting out here with this collection from Echo Park called I Love My Dog. And this is such a fun collection. I love the colors. And I really love that paper right there that has the little dog heads in the circles. And right now I'm actually chatting with my friends. We were doing an online crop, and we've been doing that, getting together like once a week now since we've all been staying home. And every Friday or sometimes Saturday, we will get together for a few hours and do some scrapbooking. So you will see me talking to them as I am creating this layout. I'm going to go through and look at all the papers that are available in this collection. And there's these really cute cut aparts. And these are the pictures that I'm going to be using for this layout. And the first thing I'm going to do here is take this cut apart, and instead of using the full 4x6 card, I'm going to cut out this little saying that says, "What a possum day." And I thought that would be perfect for this layout with my little dog because she had such a fun time hunting these lizards, and I just thought that would be really cute. So I'm going to cut this out, and I did a little bit of fussy cutting there, just cutting around that label. And I just thought that was such a cute saying. That's not going to be my title though. I'm actually going to make a title later. So I did want to mat my pictures, and I'm going to use this white cardstock and some We Are Memory Keepers layering guides, and go ahead and create a mat for my pictures. So I did recently create a video that I have posted on my channel showing how to use these layering guides and giving some tips. So if you're interested in that, I will leave a link in the description below. But I love using these layering guides because I can always get really good results, and it's really easy to make mats. So here I'm trying to figure out the placement of my pictures, and I'm going to be using these 3 pictures, and they're all different sizes. And that does make it a little bit more challenging, but I did cut them down, and because I had a lot of the draperies that are in my craft room and also that dog bed, and I didn't really want all of that to be on my layout, so I cut the pictures down as much as I could and just have my dog looking out the window there. And that picture down there, the last little one, is my dog inside the windowsill, which was just hilarious. I just remember how much Tina and I were laughing that day because Bella was just going crazy. Okay, so I'm going to use this EK Success border punch, and it has little paw prints, and it's the most adorable border punch. And I've used it on several layouts with my dogs, and I just think it's super cute. And I thought I would make a border strip to kind of separate my papers there. And I'm using this blue pattern paper, and then that one with the little paw prints, and I'm going to create that border strip. So I'm cutting these papers down, and I wanted to use some of this paper with the paw prints, but it's very busy, so I'm just going to cut off a small strip there, and I am going to create a background. And most of my layout is going to be this white cardstock. And I'm going to use some ugly paper to piece my layout together. I have a stack of this paper in my craft room. It's very thin, paper, and it's very ugly. I call it my ugly paper. And I use that whenever I want to piece together a layout. And it does save on my better scrapbooking paper. So if I have really cute paper that I don't want to waste, I will use some ugly paper. So I'm trying out some different washi tapes here just to kind of see if any of these would look good with the papers that I have selected. Sometimes when I'm creating borders like this and I'm joining papers together, I like to use a washi tape. I think it just adds a little bit of a different texture to your layout, and I'm going to use this gold stripe, and I love using gold and silver and different metallics on a layout. I think it just adds a little bit of sparkle, and so I decided that I would use that gold stripe washi tape. So there's probably a lot of different ways to piece together your paper to make a background, and sometimes I do this with using my ugly paper. Other times I might just take two pieces of paper and join them with some washi tape, and then sometimes I just use a full sheet of paper and layer things on top of it. It just really depends on how much I like the paper that I'm using and whether I want to try to save some of it. Okay, so once I got that all glued down, I am just going to try to tuck this other paper under and figure out whether I wanted the puppy paw prints, how much of that I wanted to show, and also where I'm going to put this washi tape. So I did decide that I would put the red paper, that red border strip between the two papers, and just to kind of give it some separation. I did want to put this saying on top of the papers there, and I wanted to make sure I had enough of the paper showing so that I could overlap that and so that it would look right. And it's funny because later I had trouble with that because when I went to put my pictures down and try to figure out my picture placement, I wanted to have that "What a Possum Day" saying centered on top of my border strip, and yeah, it just gave me some problems later on. Okay, so I probably should have made that blue paper just a little bit bigger. It would have, or a little bit smaller. It would have made things so much easier. But you're going to see me here moving my pictures around and playing musical pictures, trying to figure out the placement of my pictures and how I can use my little saying there and make that look right. So I'm going to decide to put my pictures there on the right hand side of the layout and kind of stagger them. Okay, so now I'm looking through some ephemera. When I purchased this collection from Echo Park, I also picked up the ephemera and also the frames and tags. And I'm just kind of showing you there what's in that pack. And I'm just going to look through here to see if I can find anything to use on my layout. And one of the things that I've noticed here lately when I buy these different ephemera packs is that they have a lot of pieces that have words on them. And I love using words on my layout, but sometimes, you know, you just get too many words. So I wish they would put more just pictures in there. So maybe I'm hoping that they'll, you know, start doing that. Okay, so I decided that I wanted to use my new button maker, and I'm going to make a flare button. Or actually, I'm going to make quite a few flare buttons. And I thought that this paper with these little dogs and the circles would be the perfect thing to make some flare buttons, and they did fit perfectly in the flare button. I'm also going to try this paper that had these little dog tags, and that did not work out so well, and I didn't really like the flare button that I made with that dog tag, but the ones with the little dog heads were adorable. Now I did have a video where I shared how to use this button maker and talked a little bit about it, where I got it and how much it cost. So if you're interested in that, I'll leave a link in the description below to that video, and if you want more information about the button maker. So this button maker is super easy to use, and I love that you can take papers from the collection you're working with and create a custom flare button for your layout. And it's really a lot of fun. Now I didn't really like the way that that little doggy tag came out because it wasn't centered on the top of the button, and I just thought it looked a little weird. But the ones with the little dog heads are just super cute, and I just love the way that those turned out. So I'm going to make 4 buttons here. And I think I'm going to go back later and make a few more. I decided that I needed some different ones in different colors. And I don't think I used all of these on this layout, but I did want to have a selection to kind of choose from. I decided to add some banners to my layout, and so I'm using this EK Success punch. It's a banner punch, and I'm going to punch out some banners from these different pattern papers. And I just love using banners on my layout. I think that it's so much fun, and I like to be able to overlap and kind of layer them. Sometimes I'll make my banners different sizes, but in the case of using this punch, they're all going to be the same size, but I am going to overlap them when I lay them down on my layout. So I did punch out this little dog, and I'm going to be fussy cutting that little dog out. I just love fussy cutting. It's one of my favorite things to do, and I have a stack of papers in my craft room that I can pull from whenever I feel like fussy cutting. And I will often sit and watch television or listen to an audiobook and just cut things out of paper. I just think that it's so much fun and it's so relaxing, and I just really enjoy doing that. And I did actually create a video on my channel a few months back where I shared some tips and tricks for fussy cutting. So if you're interested in watching that, I will put a link in the description below. But it is definitely one of my favorite things about scrapbooking, and I just love creating my own embellishments. So you can see here that I am layering up all of these banners and then putting the little dog there. And I think later I'm going to go back and add some foam tape to the back of the dog to give it a little bit more dimension. And I'm looking at these sticker sheet and trying to see if there's anything here that I'd like to use for my layout. And I think I'm at this point talking to my friends, just kind of playing around with things here and trying to figure out what I'm going to do next. So as I was looking at this, I thought, well, my pictures are battered with white, and that background paper on the right-hand side of my layout is white. And so I was looking through to see if I could figure out something that I could use to map these photos to make them stand out a little bit more from the background. And so I decided to take some of this red cardstock, and I'm going to go and mat the photos. I'm using my layering guides to create a 1/16 inch mat around these pictures. So I wanted to have a little bit of a mat, but I didn't want anything super big, so I'm using 1/16 of an inch. I like to use that size whenever I'm just looking for a little bit of a pop of color around the edge of my photo, without really adding a lot to the size of the picture. And you can see there how much of a difference it makes just adding that little bit of red behind my picture. So I have the design of my layout and my picture placement worked out, and now I want to try to figure out where I'm going to put these embellishments and these flare buttons. And I did kind of play around with those for a little bit, and decided that I wanted to add some dimension to my layout, so I'm going to put some foam tape on the back of that little dog. And then I'm going to also put some foam tape just on one side of this little banner. And I like to do that if I'm going to be tucking an embellishment under a picture or another paper, to just put the foam tape on one side, and it adds dimension but still allows you to layer that embellishment. Okay, so I finally figured out where I'm going to put my pictures, so I'm going to go ahead and glue those down. And I wanted to put the top two pictures kind of straight, and then that last one, I tilted it at a little bit of an angle, and added that banner down there at the bottom. So I grabbed my glue dots, and I'm going to glue this flare button down. And I found that glue dots is one of the best things to glue down buttons or flare buttons or anything that's metal. I found that if I tried to use liquid glue, it would take too long to dry, and if I tried to use my ATG gun to glue a flare button down, it would usually fall off later, so just best to use a glue dot. Okay, so now I'm going to work on this banner. I did overlap the banners and layered them, and now I'm going to take my paper trimmer and just trim that off to make sure it's all even on the top of my layout there. So the paper trimmer that I'm using is the 12-inch paper trimmer from Creative Memories, and I just love that paper trimmer. I have a lot of different paper trimmers in my craft room, and that has got to be my favorite. So I finally got out of my house. On Sunday I went with my sister and my mom to celebrate Mother's Day, and we took a ride over to the Gulf Coast. It's really close to where I live. I live in Louisiana, but the Mississippi Gulf Coast is just a few miles from where I live. So we went and drove down through Long Beach and Biloxi and Gulfport and that area over there, and stopped at one of the picnic areas and had a drink and kind of just talked. My sister brought some bubbles with her, and we blew bubbles. She had a big bubble wand, and so we had fun playing with that. But yeah, we just really had a good time. The weather was gorgeous, and it's just nice to be outside. And then we went and did some curbside pickup at one of the seafood restaurants there and ate our dinner in the car. But at least we were out of the house. And then the following day, which was Monday, I went to the orthodontist. I finally got to go to that appointment. It had been canceled, and I've been waiting for 2 months to go back there so that I could get the molds done so that they could determine whether or not they could take my braces off. And so I'm waiting for my orthodontist to meet with my dentist, and they're going to go over my molds and try to see if they need to move any more teeth around or if I can get my braces off. So I'm super excited, and I sure hope that they're going to be calling me soon to say that they can schedule my appointment to have my braces removed. I am so ready for those braces to come off. Okay, so back to the layout. So this, I'm making some more buttons. I think as I was trying to figure out the placement of my embellishments, I was thinking, well, I needed some more colors of things. And I took some of the stickers off the 12 by 12 sticker sheet and put them onto some white printer paper. It's just a really thin paper, and it's really best to use a thinner paper when working with the button maker to make buttons. Okay, so I decided I needed some more things to embellish, and so I'm going to be fussy cutting out some of these little bones. And there was 3 different bones there in yellow, red, and blue, and I'm going to cut out all 3 of those. That was pretty easy to cut out. It was a pretty basic shape. They're kind of small, but still really simple to do some fussy cutting with those little bones. And I thought that that added such a cute touch to my layout. So this is a new collection from Echo Park, and they had a sale over at snapclicksupply.com, which is the store for Echo Park and Cartabella. And I think it was like 25% off, and so I picked up this collection. But if you have dogs, this is such a cute collection to use for dog layouts. And I really love the colors in this collection. This really pretty blue and the deep red, and then that darker yellow. I just think that that goes so well together. Okay, so now we're going to be working on the title, and I did think about using some more gold on my layout, so I pulled out those sticko letters, and they were giant. I was going to spell out the word lizard, and yeah, that wasn't going to work. It was way too big. So I'm going back through my thickers, and I'm going to pull out some white thickers here and try to spell out the word lizard, because my title is going to be Lizard Hunting. And I tried that out, and I just, it didn't look good because it's going to pass over that red border there. And I tried moving it over, but it just didn't look right. It just didn't, I think if I would have made that blue piece of paper bigger, I could have used those thickers and put my title there, and it would have worked out really well. But I just didn't think it looked good because it was just too close to the edge of the paper and too close to that red border. And I tried to move it over, but I still didn't like it because then the D kind of blended in and you couldn't read it. I tried putting it vertically on my layout there, but I didn't really like it no matter what I did. I love the letters. I love the size of the letters. It just didn't fit on my layout. And I think this is the second layout that I've had trouble with my title, where I couldn't figure out a way to get my title to fit. Okay, so I pulled out my box of border strips, and I'm flipping through here, and I was thinking, well, maybe I can put my title on a piece of paper, and maybe that would make it look like it would stand out a little bit more. And so I'm kind of just looking through my blue paper, and I didn't really see anything there. And I think I ended up pulling out a piece of yellow cardstock, and I thought, well, maybe this might work. And so I'm going to try to put the title onto that yellow cardstock, and I still didn't like it. So sometimes you just have to try a bunch of things before you figure it out. But I didn't think that looked good either. And but I did love that I put that little red bone right below the dog there. It looks like the dog has a bow. And I thought that was really funny. Okay, so I'm still trying to figure out this title, and I really love adding titles to my layout, but sometimes when I do it as an afterthought, it's very frustrating because, you know, sometimes you can find a letter that you think thicker that would go very well, and then it doesn't fit, or you can't find the right color to go with your layout that's the size you want. And so I didn't like that, and I'm going to end up putting all of that back onto this sticker sheet and trying something else. So as I put these back onto the sticker sheet, I thought about what I could do instead, and I thought, well, maybe I should add something that was red to the layout, and I think using a block letter would make it stand out from that busy background. So even though that blue paper is a little bit busy, if I use a block alphabet, it will stand out from the background. Okay, so I pulled out these alphas, and they're from the October afternoon. It's called the Daily Flash. And I'm going to spell out lizard hunting using these smaller block alphas, and I thought that worked so much better. So the next thing that I'm going to do here is to look through some of my stickers, and I did actually move that red bone, and I put the yellow one there underneath that little dog instead because I had the red title. And I decided to put the blue bone there at the top and then the orange one at the bottom cluster. So I have these stickers. They're from the Simple Stories collection, but I didn't pull anything from that one. Then I also have this set here, and I can't remember where that came from. I believe I got that from Hobby Lobby though. And then these are the Memento stickers, and they came from Hobby Lobby. I got those on clearance. Those stickers are so awesome because they have cork, and they have metallic foiling, and just all different textures and different dimensions to those stickers. And I'm going to add a little wood veneer sticker to the top, on top of that banner that says sweet. And I'm going to put these stickers away. One of the things I've been doing is cutting down the side on the right hand side so that I can more easily slip the stickers back into the package. And I picked that up from watching She's Crafty, which is a YouTube channel that I love to watch with Shannon and Allor. Okay, so I'm looking at these sticker sheets, and this is the one that came with this collection, which is called I Love My Dog from Echo Park. And I pulled off this little speech bubble that says good dog. I'm going to pop that up with some foam tape and add that to the top of one of my pictures. I thought that was really cute, and I thought it was, you know, just something cute to add to that side of my layout. I also kind of wanted to cover up that part of the picture that just had the side of the window, and I thought that was a really good use of that sticker. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pop up these little bones onto some foam tape as well, just to kind of give them some more dimension. And I did add a little yellow tennis ball there at the bottom in that bottom cluster. And I decided that for the blue bone at the top, I would just glue it right flat down to my layout. I didn't add any foam tape to that one. But I did add foam tape to the orange and the yellow bone. So I'll also need to attach these flares to my layout using some glue dots. And I keep my glue dots in this metal tin. It's got a magnet on the bottom, and I just stick it to the side of my Rascog cart. I got that from IKEA, but I don't think IKEA sells those anymore. But you can find them at the Dollar Tree, and I think also on Amazon. And it's really cool because it kind of keeps my glue dots from drying out because they're stored inside that canister. Alright, so I wanted to try to straighten up this title, and I love working with titles, but I hate trying to line up all these little letters. It's one of the least favorite things that I do with scrapbooking is trying to get the letters on my layout straight. So I'm trying to use a T-square ruler here and it wasn't working out too well, so I ended up taking all these stickers off my layout, and then I used the ruler to draw a line with a pencil, and I used that pencil line to line up all of these little stickers. So it did take quite a bit of time getting these letters all on there evenly, and I tried to use these tweezers, but I just found it easier just to use my fingers, and I thought it was so much easier with the pencil on there because then I didn't have to worry about trying to hold on to that T-square ruler while I was trying to place all of these little stickers. And once I got all of the title on there, I just took my eraser on my pencil and just erased that line. So although that journaling card with this saying wasn't part of my title, I thought it was fun that if you read the layout from the top down, it says, "What a possum day lizard hunting." Okay, so I'm going to put some finishing touches on this layout by adding some enamel dots. And I keep my enamel dots in these acrylic drawer units, and I have them right behind my workspace, and I have them by color. And I just love having my enamel dots by color because I can look through all the different colors to try to find the perfect match for my layout. I selected some yellow, blue, and red enamel dots, and I'm going to scatter those around my layout in each one of my clusters. And I like to tuck them under things and in places where it kind of connects different elements on the page together. And it makes your cluster look more cohesive, I think, when you connect different things and place your embellishments and your enamel dots where things overlap or join. And I just love the way that this layout turned out. I thought it was really cute. I love the fun colors in this collection from Echo Park, and definitely recommend it if you are looking for some collections to use for scrapping pictures of your dogs. Okay, so if you want to stick around, I have some close-ups of this layout. I also have a short video clip of my dog Bella. She's been outside kind of in the evenings and at nighttime sitting by my fence, and I can't figure out why. And I had a little bit of a talk with her the other day, and I still didn't get any answers, but I thought it was fun to share with you what Bella's been up to lately. So I hope y'all enjoyed this scrapbook process video, and if you did, please give this video a like. If you would like to see more videos, please subscribe. I'd love to have you join my channel. And that's all I have. So y'all take care, have an awesome week, and I will see you next time. Bye now. What you doing, Bella? I can't figure out what she's doing out here. And she's been doing this every night for like the last few weeks. She comes out here and she sits by the fence right there for hours. And I can't figure out why. Do you have a friend that I don't know about? Miss Bella, do you have a friend that we don't know about? Maybe there's a friend on the other side of the fence. What you doing? Yeah, what you doing? What you doing out here all by yourself, huh? Are you waiting for your friend? Do you have a boyfriend? Or do you have a kitty friend? Another dog that comes over and talks to you. You are too funny, girl. What are you doing out here sitting by the fence? Bella, what are you doing out here sitting by the fence? Can you say hi? Can you say hi? Can you speak? Do you got anything to say for yourself? Nope, she's just waiting. What you waiting for, honey? What you waiting for? I wish you could talk to me, so that I would know what you're doing out here. Okay, well, let's not leave you to your fence. But I'm gonna go inside. Are you gonna come in and have a treat? Do you wanna come in and have a treat with Lily Bell? You gonna come? Come on, let's go. Wanna go have a treat? No? No? You're not gonna come inside to have a treat? Seriously? I'm just like confused. I'm so confused. What you doing out here, darling? Bella, do you have a boyfriend? Do you have a secret friend I don't know about? Okay, I guess we'll leave you to your fence. I don't get it. Are you gonna come inside and have a treat? You are? You're gonna have a treat? Oh, good. Let's go. So they are going to be having this treat, which they've never had before, and it's from Country Kitchen, and it says it's from Spain, but it's packaged in Ohio. This came from Tuesday Mornings, and I don't know if they're going to like it or not, but I think they will, so we shall give it a try. And this is what it looks like. Alright, y'all ready? Okay. Sit. Stay. Stay. Leave it. You little Steve. Okay, Lilybell, you can have yours. That little thief. She took it before I said she could. They don't usually do that. I guess you really like that treat.